Our feeds are dominated by the same face. We see all of the same features constantly fed to us in the algorithm, and it's called Instagram face. This term was actually coined back in 2019, and since then it's got even more widespread. This was a piece in The New Yorker by Gia Tolentino. The Age of Instagram Face: How Social Media, Facetune, and Plastic Surgery Created a Single Cyborgian Look. You know it when you see it. It's the intensely photoshopped, face-tuned, airbrushed face that even after, or even before all of the editing, looks disturbing when it's in motion because of all the filler and the plastic surgery and the Botox. Nobody actually looks like that. And I think the theory goes Gen Z has been inundated with these images for so long, since the very first time that they got smartphones.
Yeah.
They are finally in a state of Instagram face fatigue,
Yeah,
losing interest in overly altered faces and gravitating toward more natural beauty.
Big super chat here from Melly May 4455 says, "Happy birthday, Brett. It will happen." Yes, we will get to.
It will happen.
There will be pierogies.
Thank you for donating to a good cause.
I mean, this was also something, and yes, thank you so much for that. Like, this is something that even before Instagram face, like the discussion of airbrushing and Photoshop on the cover of magazines.
Yeah, that's nothing new.
Nothing new.
Right. But I think at least when it was on magazine covers, people had a general understanding that they were looking at altered photos.
Yes, the whole point of like seeing a celebrity on Instagram is like if they see just a regular looking photo from them that looks like it was just taken on their phone, it should theoretically have inherent flaws that they would understand why it's covered up on a magazine cover. Right. Then they're like, why are these photos of them at a pool why do they look like the magazine covers?
So they say our screens, thanks to Instagram, reality television, they also mention Love Island, and influencer culture, are increasingly filled with faces sculpted by tweakments and plastic surgeries, lip filler, Botox, buccal fat removal, rhinoplasties, deep plane facelifts, etc. The result is that many women now look like a Bratz doll, or in some selfies, AI. It's as if they went to the med spa or plastic surgeon and all used the same reference photo. That's not to say none are beautiful, but I, like a lot of other people, am tired of how common that Instagram face look has become. It's everywhere, it looks unnatural, and now that we know they all got the same procedures done, the wow factor is gone. There is an overexposure of the artificial, small-nosed, big-lipped, batty aesthetic, and everyone is experiencing fatigue. So I just think of this scandal that broke out over Tana Mojo face tuning her photo to hell. She went to a red carpet event, and of course the Getty images are published for everyone to see, but the one that she posted, she was lit from literally every direction. She was orange. She suddenly had eye makeup that was never there before. It was just like literally completely different person.
It's so weird because
because you know people can see the original too.
Yeah, but you don't care about them.
Does it even matter?
No, it doesn't. Like, it's the idea, like, people will say crazy things and contradict themselves all the time because all that matters is what's being said currently. The same is true of the photos. They're like, yeah, sure, a bunch of people will see those photos, but a lot of people will also see that one. It's kind of like when we talk about you have to be willing to be misunderstood to become social media famous. You have to be willing to contradict yourself and how you look as well. It's weird because it gets, and everybody's kind of falls victim to it. Like, I dare you to find me the person who takes just one photo of themselves when they post a selfie. That doesn't happen. I'm sure even the least vain person probably takes at least two. Okay? Sure. But the point is you look at old photos of 35 millimeter cameras, and the entire reason it's awesome is because of the fact that you couldn't take the photo twice. Like, because it was capturing you in the moment at a moment that felt very real. You go back and look through your Instagram archive now, and none of it feels real.
Well, This is interesting that they argue Gen Z is pushing back on Instagram Face.
Gen Z likes the digital cameras now. They like the self-contained digital cameras.
I have one in my backpack
bag.
over there right now. I have one of those handheld point and shoots because I love that style of photography. It does feel more spontaneous, and it actually is. It's more fun, and it's just more real. And it looks more like what you saw with your own eyes than an iPhone camera, which has built-in filters and portrait mode and all of these fancy tools that no one cares to use. And that is popular with Gen Z. The whole indie sleaze trend, the rebirth of indie
that's
sleaze
because they're
among
sad
Gen
they
Z.
missed out on hipsters.
True, but it also has to do with the fact that the photos posted to social media at the time in its infancy were less curated, not edited, and more in the moment. So that's a sign that they're pushing back on Instagram Face. There are also TikTok trends where people are like, you know, this is me, no filter at whatever age they are, no makeup, and they just show angles of themselves. And this is a form of de-influencing you from idolizing the Instagram face that you're used to seeing, because it's a form of exposure therapy. Like, the more you're exposed on social media to what people's faces really look like, the less you will desire what is fake. So there is all of that, and I recognize that Gen Z is organically pushing back on it, but at the same time, it's kind of self-contradictory, because the plastic surgery and cosmetics aesthetics industry has never been more popular. It is at an all-time height of popularity and accessibility, and that includes Gen Z clientele, young women in their late teens, early 20s, who are going to get Botox and fillers, and they're coming in with reference photos of, you know, Alex Earle or Madison Beer or Khloe Kardashian, perhaps. So at the same time that these cosmetic procedures are at an all-time high of popularity, there is also an all-time high of popularity of just complaining about it.
I guess that just means that there's more people thinking about it in general.
But it's a little bit more like plastic surgery for me and not for thee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to talk down on it, and then privately I'm going to engage in it because I have my reasons.
Yeah.
Right? Like, everyone feels that their insecurity takes precedent.
I mean, I get just as annoyed by the people who are like my photos because I'm not using filters. I hate that as much as I hate the people who are like using the filters. Like, it's just your own brand. It's like, Pamela Anderson doing the I go to red carpets without makeup on. I'm like, it's a red carpet. You're supposed to dress up and put makeup on. Now, if you want to post pictures,
setting is different.
If you want to post pictures at home and not have makeup on, sure. But you've just turned it into your newest avenue for recognition.
Sure, you could like argue that makeup is just part
I'm not
of
going
the
to say it's
dress
I'm not
code
going to
for
say
a
it's a
formal
grift.
event.
It's not a grift. But the point is it's a marketable avenue for you to go down. And it's its own thing.
Well, I think one of the worst consequences of social media is it tricks everyone into thinking they're a celebrity, and the medium is the message. So the medium of something like X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, is you are given the ability to publish your thoughts on literally everything at all times. And even if no one is reading your posts, it still feels like your voice matters. Like, the message of that medium is everyone needs to know what you think. Everyone is listening.
It's so weird too, because like when I was not being on X, I'm like, you know what? I don't have anything really all that interesting to say. Does it even matter? Like, sometimes it does, because my job kind of requires me to have a presence. I guess. Like, I could do it without it, and there's probably some vanity in there as well. But if I disappeared from the internet tomorrow, nothing would matter. Nothing would change. Literally nothing would be lost.
But
there are a couple of people in the world who have such unique thoughts and such interesting perspectives that the world is worse off if they're not sharing it with the world. But that's a very, very small number of people. For the rest of us, it's vanity.
Well, that's a form of like intellectual vanity that is encouraged on a platform like X, right?
Yeah.
That's just about what your opinions are.
Yeah.
But with Instagram, on the other hand, the medium is you're being encouraged to display yourself, display images of yourself. And the message behind it is everyone's looking at you. Even though that's not the truth.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking at you, especially when you leave the house. Literally, no one is paying attention to you. No one is analyzing your facial features.
But it is like an epidemic now where everyone does think like they're
Yes.
worried that everybody's judging them and looking at them. They're not. They're
Why
literally worried
there
about
is
their
this
own life.
impulse to be camera ready at all times, even if the measures necessary to do so cost you thousands of dollars, have lasting scars and syringes in your face.
Yeah.
Because you have to be camera ready at all times because you feel like everyone's looking at you when no one is paying any attention to you. And they mentioned actually that Amy Lou Wood, the actress in The White Lotus, the latest season of White Lotus, was praised for not getting work done on her face and also having her natural teeth instead of veneers, which are increasingly common in Hollywood now. She showed many facial expressions completely unrestricted by Botox. She didn't get veneers either, and her smile lit up every scene. It was truly refreshing to watch a pretty face that could actually move.
Yeah.
Celebrities.
I was mentioning to you before the show, I was like, me and Olivia I'm getting her to watch Arrow, and the actress Katie Cassidy, she only knows how to ugly cry, and it's quite nice. Like, you know, because that's in the CW, they don't hire ugly people. It's all conventionally, like almost suspiciously conventionally attractive people. And every time she cries, she doesn't do like some type of like half cry. It's not like a single tear. Her lips are literally
0 to
quivering,
100.
and she like somehow makes a double chin that isn't there, which I can appreciate. But nowadays, when you see actresses, it happened to Lauren Holly. Lauren Holly was a fantastic actress. She had a ton of work done, and the only roles she excels in now are where she has to play stoic because her face doesn't look like it moves.
Yeah, just look at a scene of Lindsay Lohan attempting to fake cry in her Netflix movie, Irish Wish. She has so much Botox in her face that she literally cannot furrow her brow.
Yeah.
So that's just on the celebrity side of things. Celebrities are hyper visible, and yes, the reality is people are looking at them. But nowadays, it's just odd that ordinary people feel
Think
as
that,
looked
yeah.
at as Lindsay Lohan.
Because ordinary people have a camera in front of them more than
Yes.
any normal person ever did before social media and smartphones.
We have a 20 from Le Bass Eater. Happy birthday, Bread Day Civic. And too many more.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I wanted to show, first off, a before and after of Lauren Sanchez that is gaining traction right now. They say, I
Making the
don't care
rounds.
about Jeff Bezos or Lauren Sanchez or their wedding. What I care about is girls and women getting brainwashed into thinking this is normal or beautiful. Please don't do this to yourself. And of course, it's undeniable that she looks like a natural beauty before she got all of this work done on her face. It's very disturbing to look at someone like this, even in photos, but even more so, I imagine, in real life.
Yeah.
It's only meant to look good in photos, and even now it's gotten to such an extreme that the photos don't do it justice.
Yeah.
And then I also saw several examples of old Hollywood starlets who they say didn't get plastic surgery. This was a few examples. This has about 5 million views at this point, including Marilyn Monroe. Is that Sophia Loren?
Get this in order.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Does it look like they have work done?
I mean, I'm not the expert here. I don't know. Like, I can recognize what we see as work today because it's so prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
But
And some people are saying, yeah, they all had plastic surgery too back then. But it's definitely not to the same level
no.
as it is today. And this was also like prior to...
I mean, most of this is what
Fillers
Margot
and-
Robbie
and
looks like
Botox.
today. This aesthetic is what Margot Robbie looks
True.
like today.
True. But it's almost
Who is,
like...
by the way, a July 2nd birthday like me,
But the sad
along with Lindsay Lohan.
part is the face of Margot Robbie isn't the beauty standard
Yeah.
anymore.
Well, also we talk about how like they dress her horribly when she goes to the events.
They never do her hair.
Thank you.
But yeah, like Margot Robbie, strikingly, objectively beautiful. A face meant for movies. However, she is not the beauty standard because she doesn't have an Instagram face.
Yeah.
Which is just insane. And it's not a good thing. They also show a picture of Ava Gardner here, who didn't get any work done in this photo. Also naturally beautiful. But people are still born with these features. They just pay for Instagram face instead because that's what's seen as preferable. That's what's mass marketed and consumed. Yeah. And it's like still an unchallenged norm that maybe is falling out of popularity. We can hope.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it only gets worse. I think kind of like they say politics only flows one direction. I think that this type of thing only flows one direction as, especially as surgery gets more financially accessible to people.
Right. Sort of like how, televisions are cheap.
Yeah. You can buy like a 70-inch TV for like nothing now.
Yeah.
But you'll never own a home.
Right. Exactly. You can pay for, Botox treatments, but you'll never afford a home.
That's sad, but true in a lot of ways. I just feel like the insecurities only get worse with society, especially as people grow up both with a phone in their face and a camera in their face all the time and examples of celebrities in their face all the time because technology is like literally thrust into their hands at the earliest age possible.
Right. I mean, I just look back on downloading Instagram when I was 12. I might have even been 11. And I'm like, there's no benefit. I've reaped no benefit from being on social media.
It doesn't help anybody.
At that young of an age. I could have easily used it later on.
It doesn't benefit anybody that young.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.